My name is Colette Phillips, and I am the co-founder of Unity in the City. What I love most about Reverend Ed is his authenticity, his dedication to the true interpretation from a metaphysical perspective of the Bible. He makes listening to the biblical parables and the biblical stories intriguing, interesting, and enlightening. And no matter what, there is never a Sunday when Reverend Ed preaches that I don't walk away with something new. Always some new nugget of insight, of looking at the biblical words in a new way. And I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to experience him as a spiritual teacher, a spiritual guide, a role model, and just an all-around lovable human being. Thank you, Reverend Ed.
My name is Nudie Theodore Parks, and one of the things I love the most about Reverend Ed's service is his thoughtfulness, how warm the service and his service was. And I always will leave from the service taking a great things out of his words. I also wanted to say that in loving memory of my husband, Mariano Parks, Mariano was crazy about you. He loved so much your service. He never wanted to miss it. He always wanted to be here to listen to you. So thank you so much. May God bless you and protect you everywhere you go.
Hello, this is Martine Bernard. What I love the most about Reverend Ed is that he is absolutely brilliant. He is a masterful scholar, and I believe that he was one of my master teachers. I love his humor, his brilliance, his knowledge. I love the fact that in the last 10 plus years of being here at Unity, I've learned so much about the metaphysical interpretations of the Bible. I looked forward waiting with bated breath for Rev Ed's sermons, his wit. I love that because I was part of the music ministry. We would hang out together early when he got here. You are in my heart, Rev Ed. I will really miss you. I would just love to give you a big hug. And you're wonderful. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Je t'aime.
Hi, Reverend Ed. It's Greg Lynch. We're going to miss you. The thing I love most about you is your quotes from the Bible and your religious insights. Very stimulating. So I wish you well in the future. Thanks.
My name is Kathy O'Hearn, and there are so many things I love about Reverend Ed. But first I want to say that Reverend Ed is the reason why Reverend Ed is not the reason I came to Unity Church. Reverend Ed's the reason I stayed. I just completely fell in love with Reverend Ed when we were at the Lincoln School. And everything was just so accessible, so poignant, so perfect in everything he said. And since we have moved here to Brookline, or to our new place in Brookline, I have been able to come regularly to church and benefit from all of your wisdom, your elegance, your kindness, your knowledge of the Bible, a document that I have never been particularly fond of. It just opened that world up to me in a way that I never expected, not more than never expected, never wanted. And I am deeply grateful to you for everything that you have done for us.
Hi, Reverend Ed. My name is Karen Ramirez McGrath. And the thing that I love the most about you, when I first started with Unity and in your teachings with Bible Alive, that truly brought it home for me, and it's kept me going throughout all of these years. Thank you so much for Bible Alive.
Hi, Reverend Ed. I want to let you know that I really, really appreciate you. I love your big, big heart, and also your keen wit and brilliant mind. I love how you teach us about the Bible and integrate metaphysical ways of thinking about what Jesus came to teach us. And there's just some way that you share yourself in a very real, authentic way. And I want to thank you for giving so much to our community, and I'm really grateful for your presence in our lives. Be well.
Hello, Reverend Ed. This is Valerie Benjamin. First, let me say that I love you, and I miss your talks. And I also want to say that every time I came, I had to have a pencil and paper because you are such the scholar. Now, what I love most about you is that when I came to you with my cancer diagnosis and my bald head, you took time to spend with me to talk about where my feelings were about the cancer, and gave me some insights, and I followed them. And I came today so that you can see that your prayers worked, because you did pray for me. And here I am. So I want to say thank you, and I want you to know that I am praying for you.
Hi, Ed. This is Esther. So my heart is a little heavy in saying bon voyage and happy retirement, and I'll miss you. I just want you to know that you've been such a stately presence in my life over the last number of years since I've known you, which is quite a few. I've been going to Unity for like 9 years, very consistently. And I just love your grace and your, stately presence is what comes to mind. You've taught me so much about the Bible, which I had a lot of resistance to, coming from a Jewish background. But you really helped me understand it in a different way, in a metaphysical way, and more symbolic and more expansive. And I'm very grateful for that. And I just love your presence. I'm really going to miss you. So best of luck with everything, and please keep in touch. Love you so much. Bye-bye.
Jane Lopez is my name, and what I love most about Reverend Ed is because I was brought up on the Bible, and I was brought up with really limited interpretations of all the stories, of all the scriptures. Reverend Ed, you opened it up for me as something that I could actually believe. You gave me all the different perspectives that I didn't have. You incorporated it with other beautiful schools of thought, that the Bible actually could be something respectable instead of something narrow-minded, which is what I thought of it as a reformed born again. Now I can accept the Bible as something that actually speaks to me as well. And I thank you for your dedication and your ability to study something like that and share it with us. Thank you, Reverend Ed.
Well, Reverend Ed, first I want to let you know that my wife Beverly was here today. You may see her in some of the pictures scanning the crowd. and she autographed the book, and she asked me to make sure I let you know how meaningful you are and your ministry has been to her. I also want to echo that as well. And the thing that I love so much about you, Reverend Ed, particularly at a Unity church, is the fact that you do use the Bible, that your work is Bible-based. It seems to me that a lot of people who go to Unity who kind of like shy away from the Bible, and the Bible is the Word. That is the basis for spiritual study. And I always appreciate the fact that you ground your work that way. You expand our understanding of the Bible. You make it accessible to us all so that we can see how we can live those messages that are buried in those old texts can still have meaning to us today. And of course, I just love the fact that you always bring your elegant self. You always have like a presence. I think Jen was describing you earlier, as you'll see in another video, about how you always sit tall in the seat in the front. And I always feel your presence there, and you're like an anchor for us when we're here. So I'm just so happy to have found you, to have met you, to have had an opportunity to learn and study with you. And I wish you all the blessings in life and much love.
What I love most about Reverend Ed, so many things, but what is most present is your knowledge and wisdom regarding the sacred texts. I love, love, love your teachings and your knowledge of the Bible, and to sit at your feet and to glean that knowledge. And most importantly, how you make it relevant and revealing to today's time and experiences. And I just love that about you, and your ability to make it real and exciting, and your humor that you add to it. And that will stay with me forever and ever. One of my fondest memories is at Reverend Sean's retreat. And you and I were lying on the floor next to each other and a whole lot of other people in this meditation room. And we were doing a sound meditation. And I had the honor of lying there next to you. And I don't know if I was on your right or your left, but I was like, wow, I'm right next to Reverend Ed. And that was a high moment for me as we meditated together to the sound of the gongs. And I will always treasure that and remember your energy, your love, your wisdom, and your teaching. I love you, Rev Ed.
I'm Carlos Anderson, or Reverend Carlos Anderson, and what I love most about Reverend Ed is everything, really. I love the demonstration of the living embodiment of the teachings. I love that you love the Bible. I'm a Bible guy myself, and when I first got into Unity, I was always hearing Unity ministers say, not so much Bible, not so much scripture. It puts people off. But I couldn't stop. It's just in me and comes out of me. So what a joy to meet you, and what a joy to see your love for the scriptures. I love your gentleness. I love your intellect. I love your invitation to everybody to rise up and be the highest that we can be. And I love your knowing that oneness is the truth of everything. It's been a pure joy, brother, a pure joy to be with you in the ministry. And it will be a pure joy for me to continue on loving you and blessing you and holding you in the light and trusting in your process. I want to thank you for being, brother, just as you are, who you are. You're a blessing to me. I want you to know, in case you didn't know, that knowing you, Reverend Ed, has increased who I am as a human being, as a man, and as a teacher of God. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you, and to the Christ in you I bow.
Hi, Ed. I'm Lori Presbendowski, and I think that you are absolutely great. And I've really enjoyed, I think I've been going to Unity, I guess about 7 or 8 years now, And so I'm really grateful to have all this time of getting to see you preach. And I love that you're there and you're wearing your great suits and you're all with smiles. And one thing that really sticks with me is I absolutely love the Mary Magdalene, just given the lectures and the preaching that you did on Mary Magdalene. I thought that was so amazing, and I had no idea about it. And it's just something that totally stays with me. So I always think of you with, and now I have really great thoughts about Mary Magdalene because you shared so beautifully about it. So I just want to thank you so much for your amazing willingness to delve into the scriptures and come to church already with great things. So thank you for just being great, and we will miss you indeed. So glad you're taking care of yourself. That's beautiful. And I wish you all the happy joy in your day-to-day life, and just trust that God will give you all the things that you want and need. Thanks, Ed. Lots of love from Lori.
Fred Davis. What I like most about Reverend Ed, whatever Reverend Ed brings to this church, is the biblical sense of the church. I think he's a good combination what we have with Reverend Ed and Reverend Carlos. I first met Reverend Ed in Connecticut at one of our retreats. And I came from a Baptist background, and Reverend Ed, at one of his meetings with him, he said to us that there was no such thing as a word of God. And coming from a Baptist church, I thought it was, if my aunt or my grandmother had heard him say that, it would have been blasphemy. So we love you, Reverend Ed, and you will be missed.
So, Reverend Ed, what I love about you is there's just something very dear about you. And I love how gentle you are. This is Shira, by the way, Shifra. I love how insistent you are. You're very gentle, but also very strong and very present. And I love the way you open up the Bible for people like me who have a lot of issues with it. But you have a way about you that's very inviting and welcoming, and I feel like we're going on a journey, and the way you talk about how it's telling you about your life or about my life. And I love the sense of inclusion that you preach and that you practice. And I love your sense of humor, the gently self-deprecating. And I love just your presence is really beautiful. And I love learning about the history of the Unity movement, which I didn't know much about. You just have something very inviting about you and wonderful. And I also loved it when you went to, I think you were in the Golan, and you went with all those ministers and priests and rabbis and imams to be with them to pray for a stop to the violence that was going on in Syria. And I love the constant message of unity, 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 and love. And I send you my blessings, my heart, and just know that I will feel you with me always and forever. And I love you, and I embrace you, and I wish you all the very, very, very best beyond your wildest dreams.
Hi, it's Evelyn, Reverend Ed. So, what I love about you, Reverend Ed, is your openness always. I have always loved to be at Unity when you spoke, because I always knew that I was going to learn something that I didn't know before, or I was going to learn something that had a little bit of different take on it than it did before. And that was always true. So, of course, I'm missing you at Unity, like everybody. Missing your presence, missing your calm demeanor, missing your loving presence. So I just want you to know that I treasure having known you. You have given me so much over these years, so much to think about, so much to pray about, so much to just hold in my heart. And I want you to know that I will be holding you in my heart. And I wish you well.
Hello, Reverend Ed. This is David Smith. And the things that I really enjoyed about having you around is your very gentle nature, your wisdom, your depth of knowledge about the Bible and its stories, and in general, a very welcoming and of questions and things to have you respond to, and you're very interesting and responsive responses to the questions that people asked, and particularly questions that I had asked, and I found your responses were very helpful. And I wish you well in your other ventures, and hope that you have much happiness and joy, and we're very grateful to have had you in all the years that you've ministered to our church. All blessings and good health to you. Thanks again for all of your service to our church.
Hi, Reverend Ed. This is Cynthia Lynch. What do I love most about Reverend Ed? You spark my intellectual side. Absolutely, each and every week, I would wake up on Sunday morning when I knew you were speaking, and know that I would come out learning something new. And being an academic, that is one of my favorite things. I love to wake up and think, what am I going to learn today? And where you sparked my interest was I had always looked at the Old Testament, which I knew fairly well, from one perspective. And you opened it up to an array of perspectives, connected it to the New Testament, and then connected it to unity, which was new to me. And so all of that caused me to learn more things, and then to question. And to me, question is what learning is all about. And that is what I woke up every other Sunday excited to think about. Thank you, and all the best always, my love.
I'm Ellen Miner, and the first thing I want to say, Reverend Ed, is you'll be missed. And I always loved your bow ties. But really what I really loved was when you would lead us in meditations, I just would experience an incredible deepening in myself, and it seemed like in the whole room. I think I felt that you were just deeply connected to everything you were saying to us and teaching us. And I'm sorry to see that you won't be here. And I just wish you everything that you want to have happen in the next part of your life.
Hello, Reverend Ed. I'd like to thank you very much for your years of service, and I've learned a lot from our discussions. Thank you again.
Hello, my name is Darren Poindexter, and the thing that I love about Reverend Ed is his weekly messages. I'm sure that's something that a lot of people would agree to, but for me, they were always very, very insightful, very thought-provoking, and I wish I had more time to enjoy them.
Hi, my name is Denise, and the thing I love most about Reverend Ed is how chill he is.
Alicia Ortiz. Reverend Ed, I appreciate you so much for your warmth, your candor, and your groundedness, the way that I have been able to absorb so many more stories and symbolism from the Bible and apply them in a grounded, applicable, real life way has helped shape me so much in the 6 years now that I've known you. And I've so much appreciated our side conversations, our banter, your political passion. There's so much about you that I appreciate, and it's just been such a pleasure getting to know you and learning from you and listening to you and getting to share with you. And thank you for everything you are and everything you'll continue to be.
Hi, I'm Bob Lash, and what I love about Reverend Ed has totally helped me over the last 3-4 years that I've known him, that he's been the Reverend here at Unity in the City, and I am absolutely grateful to everything that he has taught me over the years. He's taught me to open my mind, to open myself to all other religions, and mostly to quiet my mind also, to be peaceful. And he has taught me all these things over the years. He may not know that, but that is how it has happened. I've listened intently to his teachings, and they have made a difference with me. And I love you, and best wishes.
My name is Jennifer Fortunato, and the thing that I love most about Reverend Ed is his deep, abiding wisdom and his sweet, sweet heart. Reverend Ed, I love you. You have been a tremendous teacher for me. You've stimulated my mind. You've made me laugh with your dry wit. Your deep knowledge and love of the Bible and of the hero's way has been inspirational for me, especially somebody who's come from a much more Eastern philosophical perspective. You've really brought Jesus's message of love and acceptance and what it means in our life and how to travel that path, the hero's journey. And I will be forever grateful for that. And I will hopefully always be in your life. Just because you are no longer at church doesn't mean that you are no longer in my heart and in my life. And I thank you.